All right, hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about Vane because I finally managed to get him to level 500. That was actually last week. As of now, like right now, we have Evo Japan going on, so I'm a little bit late on the video. But yeah, I managed to get him to level 500 and S++ 5, and that's pretty good because this character technically he's at S++ 4, and I even want to give myself some credit and say S++ 3 because there's a lot of unfortunate thing that happened before. Okay, so let me explain. First of all, I managed to get to S++ 5 at level 310 or something like that, right? Very early. But I even went further than that. I went to S++ 4 and I had all the gems. I just needed one more match, one more win to get to S++ 3. But I had a lot of unfortunate things happen, okay? First of all, there was a lot of rage quitters. There's a lot of pluggers these days in Granblue, huh? I blame Taken for that. But yeah, there was a lot of that. But also, I ran into some people that I should have probably not ran into, which is crazy. I ran into Shinku, the fucking Vera player, mastering with 13,000 13,000 mastering points. Look, I'm just saying, okay, there was a lot of unfortunate things. And then I ran into some crazy matchups. I found out that I probably don't like the matchup of Vane versus Lucilius that much, and it went downhill from there, okay? But it was a fight, and I'm pretty sure, I gotta say, I'm pretty glad that at least I'm able to survive the S++ levels, because for a long time now, I thought I wouldn't be able to do it. I thought I wouldn't be able to get to S++, and Vane is not my only S++ character, because I did the same with my boy. Hell yeah, let's fucking go. I did the same with Beelzebub. So definitely there's been a lot of progress on my end. I'm pretty happy with how far I'm getting. I'm absolutely getting there. Maybe mastering is not that far of a dream. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it too, you know. I thought I wasn't cut for it, but I might be. So yeah, I want to talk about Vane today. Long intro, I know, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the guy, about my little journey. So this character is pretty cool. I think if I don't know if I like him more than Beelzebub, and that's a good sign, right? I don't know if I like him more than Beelzebub because I love Beelzebub, man. All right, so I really like this character, man. He's really fun, all right? I like his buttons. I like the way he feels a lot. Pressing buttons with him, definitely my favorite thing to do. Like I said, I don't know if I like him more than Beelzebub, because I miss doing this move. This move, it feels good, right? But anyway, so Vane, definitely a pretty good new addition to the game. It's pretty slow overall. Like his walk speed is slow. His running speed is not the fastest either. His range, his moves also kind of come out slow. Like he has a lot of startup and recovery as well. So he can feel a little bit clunky. And his range on his normals, not the best, not the best. But this, the whole point is because you have this. So he's definitely a very special focused character. Like he uses specials quite a lot, right? These moves, they do a lot for him. So you kind of want to focus on that a lot. He has a lot of weird tools too, say stuff like this, right? At first it was really difficult for me to figure out how to use this, but eventually you kind of want to use it kind of like like an air backdash almost, right? While you're covering the air, right? It's like, oh, kind of keeps people away from you a lot of time. But if you notice your opponent likes to run at you a lot, you don't want to use it because you have a lot of recovery, and there's some nut jobs out there that just run at you, and even if they run past you, they don't care. They keep pressing the run button for some reason. I don't really understand the logic, but you know, it is what it is. But this move is pretty nice. It's also nice to keep some character in check whenever they like to jump a lot. Say a character like Beelzebub likes to hang out in the air a lot, right? Because of course he has the dive, right? So you kind of want to prevent him from doing that at all. Like, stay away. And this move too, right? Actually, let me just show an example. Right? Let's just make him do that. So you can kind of catch him in the air, and then you have access to that, right? And that's really good. So you can do some damage off of that too. Catch people in the air doing stuff like that. At first I thought also this move could be used as a throwaway, but it really doesn't. So you really just use it to keep people in check and add more backward, you know, movement to your kit if you want to move backward while pressing a button. And because people like to jump at Vane, right? Because you use energy destruction a lot, you can actually use it to cover energy destruction sometime, based on the range, depending on the range, and also depending on the opponent, of course. If you notice your opponent is very grounded, they don't like to jump at all, you don't want to use this move, right? It depends. It's a very situational move. He also has a weird tool like dash heavy. So his dash heavy is actually pretty good, and it's really good against zoners. I've noticed, like characters like Metera, Fairy, Eustace, even Beelzebub actually gets clipped by it quite a lot. This move catches a lot of people off guard. It's pretty fast. It covers the night range too, and it's also pretty good at pushing people to the corner, right? It carries people quite far actually, right? And you're in the corner just like that, right? So it's a really good move for that reason. It's actually nice to just throw it around. If you're far away from the opponent, like if you're right here, it's pretty good, because if you're too close to the opponent, it's actually punishable on block, so you don't want to do that, right? Yeah, -6, people will be able to actually hit you after it. It's not good against some characters who have very long normals, especially very long light buttons, say like Vasaraga, or even I would say Catalina, characters like that. Characters just put out a button that goes really far. You don't want to do it against them. Or Zoe, because they can just convert into Raging Strike after, and then they can beat you just like that. But a lot of characters struggle to punish this move, right? They really don't have what it takes to punish it sometimes. So it's a pretty good move overall to use every now and then. Also, it's pretty good for combos as well. It gives you like a juggle, like after your anti-air. Right, you get that, you get all that because of that little spinny move, right? So it's really nice, really nice. But yeah, outside of that, the character's main tools, obviously, like I said, his specials. So energy destruction is pretty important. Wild bait is pretty important too. And then wild bait is good. Wild bait is actually a weird move because it's pretty good at a lot of things that you don't expect it to be good at. So for example, if you're at the wall, right? If you're at the wall, of course your normals are very short, right? So you cannot really threaten the opponent that much with this. Even your heavy, you see how it misses. So you kind of wanna use this. And a lot of time, people will try to attack you right after it. You can actually cover the move with a sweep right after. So you can do this and this. Or if you're far away from the opponent at the wall and they don't want to press a button, or you just knock them down, you can use the medium version. And after the medium version, you actually don't really have to cover it with this. You can just go right away with light white bait after, right? Sometimes. It's not always viable. It's just you kind of have to gauge who you're fighting. If you're fighting a gorilla character or somebody who just doesn't think at all, you kind of want to cover it all the time, right? But of course, it's safer to just cover it with the sweep. So wild bait at the wall, pretty good. And then you do this, and it's really good too, right? So that's kind of how I use the move a lot of time. Even in the mid screen, in neutral, if I'm right here and the opponent is right there, I'm just going to throw this. I'm going to throw the medium version most of the time, because the medium version goes further, it lasts longer, and because you constantly threaten people with this, they will have a tendency to spot dodge, right? They'll be like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, so let me spot dodge, right? Right? They cannot spot dodge that. They will be able to spot dodge it in some situation if they're too far. Like the last few part of the move is not going to actually hit. They'll be able to dodge it, but for the most part, throwing the medium version is the most viable option most of the time. So it's pretty good. It does also more damage than the light version, so why not? You might as well, you know. And then of course you have the shield. This move is the GOAT. This is the move that you want to use, one for all. There's a lot of ways to use it, right? Of course, it's pretty hard to set up because people can just run at you and do dash light and it will go through the shield. What you want to do a lot of time is cover it up. The shield is like a teammate, basically. You want to cover it up. So you put it here, but you have to work with it too. It will cover you up, but you have to cover it up when you put it up. So you do this and then you do this, right? It's good enough to cover the shield. Or sometimes if it's too tight, you can go for the sweep because the sweep is a 7th frame move, right? Instead of an 8th frame move. You can go for the sweep to cover the thing up. So it's nice for that too. Medium shield is pretty weird because it's very slow, right? It really depends if you knock the opponent super far away. If you manage to do that, you can do this. This is not a super viable ID, but it's something that you can do. You can do arm destruction, right? The uppercut after doing the medium shield, and the shield will be right in front of you, protecting you already. And this happens. It happens a lot where you can use this, and when you do arm destruction, right? People will have a tendency to think, "Oh, you are unsafe right there, right? You're punishable," because you are. But because of the shield, they will not be able to actually punish you. You will be able to actually act before them. Unless they do a DP, right? Unless they hit the shield and they cancel into a DP, which is something that can definitely happen. They won't be able to do much right after, right? So that's kind of the whole thing. That's the whole debacle, right? Now, EX, I'm not sure how to use it, to be honest. I didn't figure it out. All I know is that it's faster. It comes out faster than the other shields, but it also travels the furthest. So it's very far away from you. I don't know how to set it up yet. I guess it also works with regular arm destruction, kind of, if you want to use it that way. So people cannot jump over your shield. But I'm not really sure of the proper usage of the EX shield yet, right? The ultimate one, though, the ultimate one is really strong. It is so good. So this move, it's a old, I would say it's like it's a projectile, but it's like a old fighting game style. What I mean by that is that old fighting game style is like, if you put up the projectile, if somebody throws a projectile at you in old fighting games and you hit them, usually in newer fighting games, the projectile will go away. But in old fighting games, it happens a lot that the projectile stays active. So if you do this and people hit you, they do, I don't know, maybe Brave Counter, for example, the shield will still be active and it will hit them right away. So that's really fucking good, right? So for example, right, we're gonna set Visible to do a DP, right? So hold on, I need to set it up in a way where you see that? So the shield stays active. I actually won a lot of matches just by doing the shield like that. So it's pretty strong. You can set it up after some combos too. But before we talk about how to set up the shield, we'll talk about the main combo, right? Because energy destruction plays a pretty big role in how Vane plays the game. It kind of forces people to jump a lot of time. The shield plus energy destruction is like a good way to force people to jump as well. So you kind of wanted people to jump at you a lot of time, of course, right? So, it's gonna jump up, and there you go, and then you go, and then up, and then shield. Right? So that can happen. I jumped there, so that's why I got hit, but I could also dodge. Right? right? You can definitely do a lot of things because of the shield. The shield is very strong. But basically, if they're able to actually, if they use Brave Counter, you can just butt dodge. Like after you put up the shield after the combo, right? You can just butt dodge. And then you're free to go, right? People will not be able to actually act after that specific situation. And it will be your turn, the shield will hit them, and you'll still be able to put out the button like this, for example, right? So you can do all that. You can do all that stuff. It's pretty good. So there's a lot of little weird things that Vane can do like that. Like I said, this move, you can use it in a lot of ways too. For example, if you identify that you use your anti-air and the opponent is too far away from you, right? Right there, you can do it like this. Because your second 2H is not going to hit, right? It's not going to hit from there. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happening with this character. So a lot of things that he does are pretty good. It's important to know his combos. It's important to know a lot of things that he's able to do and that he cannot do. Because this character, like I said, he does a lot of damage. But because he does a lot of damage, the drawback a lot of time is that he doesn't have access to a lot of combos. He cannot convert easily. And that's fair. At first I thought, oh, it kind of sucks that you cannot combo after this. Like sometimes you do energy destruction and counter hit, and it's like, oh, I should be able to combo that, but you can't, right? It kind of sucks for that. You cannot even do something like this, right? You cannot do energy destruction after this. You cannot do it after this. You can barely do. You cannot even do your EX. Your EX arm destruction like this. You have to do normal, right? So there's a lot of damage that he just loses, a lot of knockdown opportunities or juggles that he loses, and because of that, his damage in mid-screen can be kind of low, but it's fair because the character does so much damage already. If he was able to do most of these things, he would be kind of busted. Plus, energy destruction overall is always good to do after using your 2H or your 5H. Just because it's like you can just do it. It does a lot of chip. It's nice. You know, gladly take the chip. But it's not just about the chip, right? Because if you get the counter hit, it actually combos. So why not, right? Even regular energy destruction combos. So just do it, kind of deal, right? Just do it. You can just do it. So yeah. The character is definitely really fun for me. He appeals a lot. There's a lot of things I like to do with this character. I love his throw bait, right? You can use the throw bait in the corner, and then you have a lot of things that you can do after. And there you go, right? So you can do a lot of things like that. It's kind of goofy. If they want to do a DP, sure. If you want to dodge after the shield, you can do it too. It works too. So it's definitely, there's a lot of things that he can do, right? I mean, jumping after using the shield is not the best option. Dodging is probably the best. So it's something that I started to do a lot towards the end. But yeah, this character definitely has a lot of good stuff going for him. I like him a lot. I'm ready for Beatrix to come out. The thing is, after playing Vane, I've been trying to level up other characters, but it's just not as fun. It's just not as fun. There are not that many characters I like that much. One character that I've been looking at is Eustace. I kind of want to try with him. I've been also kind of trying to level up Catalina. I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking I want to level up either Lancelot of Siegfried as well. So I don't know, man. But there are not that many characters left for me to, try to level up. I would like to be able to, but, I don't have the motivation. Vane was too much fun. He was way too much fun. I've been spoiled, I feel like. So now I'm waiting for Beatrix to come out. I am hoping that I have fun with her as well. Hopefully she's pretty fun. I've heard good things from people who played at Evo Japan, so I'm excited. We'll see. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Vane has been a blast. I cannot wait to play more Vane and build Subaru in the future, because these are my two favorite characters right now, by far. So yeah, that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.